Hey, boy. So I'm just getting set up and then we'll do our test. Thanks for being here. Let's see, you're there. Great. Oops. Good, 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 good. Thank you for being here. So I'm just getting set up. Okay. Great. So that is that. So, boy, I think you're out there. So I'm just going to do my sequence of things. Hello, everyone. We're just setting up for this afternoon's presentation of Turkmenistan, and we're doing a technical checkout of the equipment. So this isn't the show quite yet. The show starts at 3:05. So join us then, right here on Zoom or Facebook Live. And so I'm going to do my test on Zoom. We're testing for echo. Now we're testing for sync. Hey, are we in sync? And now we're testing for Zoom, our Zoom feature. So let's see if we can spin it around for Zoom. And there we go. Yeah, good. We got the Zoom. Looks like that's working. And loss of screen. Good. Good. Lovely. And now distance of sound. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Am I audible over here? Yes. Am I audible in motion? Okay. So we're testing for sound, quality of sound. So good. And if I could have a reaction, if I could have a reaction in chat, that'd be great. And I'll just wait for that. And meanwhile, I'll get ready to go over to Facebook Live. Sorry, getting set up. Okay. And I'm not seeing, let's see, let's check chat. Oh, chat. Okay, great, thank you. So now we will go over to, come on in. Now we'll go over, there, Reese is there. Help yourself. So now we're going over to Facebook Live to check that out for the same stuff. And lovely, okay, so I'm assuming that you are on Facebook Live. So, and we're recording and good. All right. So on Facebook Live, okay, so the same situation. Echo, 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 weird mechanical echo. Okay, sync. Zoom feature. Great. Lovely. Loss of screen. And finally, distance of sound, with the sound? Are we getting the sound that we want everywhere we want to go? Are we getting the correct sound, the correct sound, the correct sound? So feedback on that, please, by text. Hey, Janet. Danielle. So you have to remind me to make sure that I unmute sound, okay? Because otherwise this is going to be like a dumb show going out into the world. Right, what everybody wants. Okay, so I'm assuming that's okay. I'm checking this. Good, good. So let's go back. Oh, I just got a ding. So I'm assuming that checks out. Okay, great. Thanks. Thank you. So I'll go back, make sure I'm back where I want to be. Yes. Okay, excellent. Okay. Thank you, big boy. Love you, love you, love you. And I'm going back to Zoom. Okay, lovely. Okay. Oh, 3:05. Oh. Okay, good. Good, good, good. That's lovely. That's great. That's great. That's great. That's great. Okay, let's see what we got with this. Did this ever work? No, this didn't work. Oh, what happened? This never worked. Okay. So this never worked. Okay, that's okay. So we're not going to worry about that. And then let's just make sure this happened. Pop, 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 pop. Let's see, love you. Okay. Okay, great. So my friends, Thank you. Very good. Did I get it? Yes. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. So welcome, gentlemen. I think we're all set to begin. What are you going to remind me? Mute. Yes, yes, I've done it. Great. So thank you for being here. This is the Essential Services Project, ESP. And as you know, or maybe you're just learning, in March of 2020, we were shut down. So I started creating a show a week and blasting out to people at home so that they could watch it on Zoom at Facebook Live. And then in June of this year, I started inviting people to come to the show. So thank you for being here. Yay! We will lend an air of liveness to this all of you out there. Welcome. You're on Facebook Live or Zoom. And these performances are created in a week. So I begin the day after the previous show, and I think what I'm going to do, I begin to research it, I begin to develop it, I rehearse it, and then I tech it, I make props, and then I arrive a week later. So I'm over 70 shows now. So thank you. Thank you so much for joining me and on this adventure. So as always, I might ask you for some sounds, okay? Like a jet sound. I have a jet that flies by. So if we could like practice jet sounds at home and here in our studio. So here we go with the jet. Yeah, great. Good at home too. And also like a boat sound, like a motorboat sound, fishing boat. Yeah, louder. Yeah. Great. Thank you all. And those of you at home, thank you. So we will be getting shortly. Thank you so much for being here. Yay. And we are unmuted. Yes. Excellent. Okay. We'll begin in just a minute. Ah. Wow. So my name is John Fisher and welcome to Turkmenistan. And those of you at home, welcome also to Turkmenistan. So a number of years ago, I had a great run of shows. I was writing, directing, and producing my own work, acting in it also. And I had this great run of shows. It went for 2 years. There were 6 shows involved, and they went one after another. I couldn't believe it. I was actually making a living as a director, playwright, actor. My dream, my fantasy come true. The final project ran for over a year in San Francisco, and I was so proud of it. And when it ended, I decided it was time for a break. I thought I'd earned a break. Now, it wasn't really a break because, of course, in the course of things, my other big dream came true. I got an agent, a really fancy agent, an agent to the stars. And I felt like I had to keep him engaged. So on the weekends, after the shows closed, after this great run of shows, I would get on a jet and I would fly from San Francisco down to Los Angeles, flying back and forth on a jet. Give me some jet sounds, please. Great. And then I'd fly back. So like one weekend a month, I would fly down to Los Angeles and fly back. The whole time I was just trying to keep this agent engaged. I wanted to keep my hand in. I wanted to act like I was a player. So I was back and forth to Los Angeles. Thank you. And I'm not sure if it was working or not, but he definitely was used to me. And he started talking about all kinds of things. We were going to make movies. I was going to write movies and then direct movies. I was going to have shows in New York City, off Broadway, maybe even Broadway. It was so exciting. And here's the thing. Not only was I looking at a very bright future, I thought, but I also felt like I needed a break. And I thought, for once, I'm going to let stuff come to me. I'm going to let the opportunities come to me. I'm not going to go out and grab them like I've been doing before. All these shows that I've done, I've written, I directed, I produced, I made the costumes, I helped build the props. I mean, I had a lot of help, but I drove the whole thing. Now I was going to kick back and let it come to me, right? The opportunities would flow in. And agents like my agent will tell you that's what you should do. You shouldn't hustle around. You shouldn't drop your pants. You should let it come to you. But I'll give you some advice. I've never done anything that I didn't start myself. And my advice is always go out and start it yourself. Get it rolling yourself. And if somebody else wants to hop on board, and a lot of people have on things I've done, then welcome them. But don't wait around. So I had a year of waiting. I was just waiting around. I was coming off of 2 years of doing stuff every single night, writing, directing, acting. I was acting at night, writing during the day, directing in the afternoon. So suddenly, there was this year in front of me. And I had felt an emptiness. Because other than flying back and forth to Los Angeles, and of course, it doesn't, it's not just a day. You're not just like down there for a day. You have to, it takes you 45 minutes to get to the airport. You have to wait for the plane. You have to fly in the plane. You have to get off the plane. You have to get your rental car. I mean, you spend a whole day getting there, a day there, and a whole day getting back. But aside from that, there's nothing going on. There's a big hole in my life, an emptiness. And when that happens, I don't know if you found this, but something falls into that hole, an obsession. You become obsessed with something. It can be anything. It can be adopting pets. It can be studying, the solar system. It can be collecting dirt. It can be anything, but something just drops in there and you become obsessed with it out of need. Because without realizing it, you need something to fill that gap. And for me, and it was so weird at the time, it was an editorial in the New York Times. One day I read in the New York Times an editorial about Central Asia. I'd never heard of Central Asia before. This is before the internet, before anything. And I've been always fascinated by history and geography. I'd never even heard of Central Asia before. I mean, when I thought of Asia, I thought of like China. And so I thought Central Asia must be in the center of China. It isn't. There's the Near East, there's China, Japan, and then in between them is Central Asia. And here I was reading this article about them. There are 5 countries in Central Asia, talking about them in growing size: Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and Kazakhstan. Those are the 5 countries. And here was an editorial talking about them, and they'd just broken away from the Soviet Union. And the article was saying that America needed to get involved with these countries because these countries had enormous natural resources, huge reserves in natural resources. And if we didn't get involved, the Russians were going to take it all. I was fascinated. This was a jackpot for me. It had to do with history. It had to do with the Russians, with the arms race, geopolitical stuff. I was so into this, in the economy. I was fascinated. And suddenly I lost myself in Central Asia. Now, the problem was, there were very few books at the time. This is before the internet. There are no books specifically on Central Asia, let alone on any of these countries. I couldn't find them anywhere. And the articles there were, they're hard to get at. And a lot of them weren't in English. So what to do? I hit on it. At the time, on top of all else, I was a perennial graduate student. I was going to UC Berkeley, and I've been there for 10 years, and I wasn't going anywhere. Because at Berkeley, if you're a graduate student, they give you foundation money, they give you grants, they give you fellowships, they give you teaching. It was lovely. I was not going to leave. So I decided the best way to learn about this would be to take a class at UC Berkeley. So I went to the Asian Studies department. They didn't have any classes on Central Asia. I went to the Slavic Studies department. I was reaching now. No classes. Nothing. There were no classes on the campus. I went to the anthropology department, no classes. And then I went to the history department. And they had one class on Central Asia, a brand new class taught by an associate professor, a junior professor trying to get tenure, trying to prove themselves by teaching a brand new class. I was incredibly excited. So I went to the first day of class. I was by far the oldest person in that class, but I was fascinated. I was sitting in the front row in my chair like this, like this, like this. And the lecturer got up there in front of us and started talking about Central Asia. And it was like a jackpot for me. All the names I read about, I felt like I found it. The class mentioned all of these states. It was incredible. And my heart opened up over one of them. This is so weird, but suddenly I was fascinated with Turkmenistan. Why? Okay, all 5 countries have broken away from Russia. And when they broke away, they set up completely separate governments, democracies that were based on their populations. No longer a Russian idea of what government was, a local idea, the Kazakhs, the Uzbeks, the Tajiks, the Kyrgyz, but not Turkmenistan. Turkmenistan took the people who've been ruling Turkmenistan before the Russians left, the communist rulers, and just made them the new rulers of the country. They were Turkmens, they were local, but they were just the old style communists. I thought that was fascinating. Here was this leftover from the Cold War, and it had been translated into the present. The other thing that got me about them was their economy. Their economy is fascinating. They have one of the largest growing cotton industries in the world. They supply cotton to Russia, to everybody, because it's perfect. The Karakum Desert, which covers most of the country, is perfect for growing cotton because it has this huge river going through the middle of it, the Amu. Fascinating. And they grow cotton. And this is the challenge of cotton. Who do you get to pick it? And this is what is so horrifying about a country like Turkmenistan. Everybody picks it. They have to go out and pick it. The school kids leave school. They shut down the schools. The teachers, the army, everybody goes out and picks cotton. It's just slave labor. It's fascinating. And on top of all this, they've got other industries, but they're not being exploited because of geopolitical problems. They've got the 4th largest natural gas reserves in the world, mostly unexploited. They've got a huge oil reserve, underground oil waiting to be drilled and brought up, largely unexploited. They're sending some of it to China. Yes, they have a pipeline to China, but because of Russia and a lot of other stuff, it's all potential. I was fascinated. I hit the jackpot in this class. What was missing? Well, it's a class at UC Berkeley, so I expected something about human rights, right? I'm obsessed with human rights, right? Gay stuff. What are gay people like in Turkmenistan? Are they legal? What's it like to live there? Nothing. The teacher said nothing about it. Nothing about women's rights. Nothing about the rights of minorities. Nothing. Architecture. I'd heard great things about the architecture in Turkmenistan. Weird contemporary architecture. Nothing. The teacher said nothing about the architecture. The leadership. These weird holdover communist leaders. The teacher said nothing about the leadership. I was frustrated. And the teacher was the challenge. It was definitely, you had to extract information from this teacher. This teacher was not the best lecturer. They stood in front of the class and they were prepared. They had their notes, but it was one of those teachers who largely read their notes and was very concerned that the students always understood what was going on, which is a good quality, but he kept interrupting the flow of the lecture. The instructor kept asking, does anybody have any questions? No? Oh, okay, then I'll go on. Central Asia has enormous water problems. There's a lot of soil in Central Asia, and they don't have enough water for it. Does anybody have any questions? Well, it's like the Bay Area. In the Bay Area, we have enormous water problems, right? Because there's not enough water here. This is not a well-watered area, so we have water problems. Are there any questions? Okay, I mean, they were asking questions about digressions. The Bay Area, that's a digression. Questions about digressions, it was so frustrating. And the teacher never talked about the individual countries after the first day. It was always Central Asia. Okay, the teacher went on vacation. I thought, okay, great. We're gonna have a substitute teacher. This person's gonna be on top of it. The substitute teacher came from Harvard University. He was a PhD. He was looking for work. So I think he agreed to take over the class for 3 weeks as sort of an audition. He came in and he said to us on the first day, he said, a lot of you are wondering what a Turkmen looks like. Well, I spent a lot of time in Turkmenistan, and that's where I met my wife. This is my wife. So if you want to know what a Turkmen looks like, here's my wife. And his wife sat there in class, smiling at us. And we all looked at her. And she stayed smiling at us throughout the lecture. I didn't know where I was supposed to look. Was I supposed to listen to the lecture? Was I supposed to look at the smiling wife? It was so confusing. And then he started to lecture. And the first thing he said was, my interest is anthropology. So I'll be talking about anthropology mostly. I thought, oh my God, this is not what I wanted from this course. I'm not getting anything that I wanted. I was so frustrated, but I was trying to be a good student. So I was patient. Well, the Harvard professor left. And our teacher came back, and it was back to the generalities about Central Asia. It was back to talking about water, interesting stuff, but not specific and very slow. So I decided to make something happen, like I said. So I called up the PhD from Harvard. I got his number from him. I asked him if he could put me in touch with a gay person in Turkmenistan. Could I get a phone number for a gay person in Turkmenistan? Of course, I didn't get him. I got his answering machine. Now, okay, I left the message and I didn't think I'd hear from him. It's such a weird request. I was in your class for 3 weeks. Can you put me in touch with a gay guy? It's bizarre, right? Okay. I didn't think that he'd get in touch with me, but I have to qualify everything I'm about to say, because everything from now on is a bit fanciful. What I told you before is true. Now we're moving into the area of fancy. In other words, this is where this becomes a play, because I'm going to get fanciful. So, okay, my rationalization is this. There are a lot of artists who paint paintings of places that they've never been, or they just see in their imagination, but they call them France. A good example is an artist we saw recently at the Museum of Modern Art. His name is Joseph E. Joachim, and he went to Europe in the First World War with the artillery, the US artillery. And then he came back and he traveled all over the United States with the circus, okay? And his idea was, when he retired, he would paint. So finally, many years later, he retired. He went into his apartment in Chicago, and for 10 years, he painted all the places he'd seen 30 years before. But he didn't have any sketches. He didn't have any pictures that he'd taken. He just did them from memory. And it turns out that a lot of these places that he painted, he could never have seen. Religious mountains in Jerusalem that are now gone, he painted them. Parts of the Soviet Union that he could never have gone to, he painted them. In other words, it is his fancy that is creating these places. And to a certain extent, that's what I'll be doing from here on out. Okay, so I had a shock because I got a call back from that PhD at Harvard. He said to me he did know somebody gay in Turkmenistan, and he had reached out to him, and he would talk to me. He told me he was Russian. Now, when Turkmenistan became a country separate from the Soviet Union, most of the Russians left, but some stayed. They're not well liked in Turkmenistan, but many of them, they do things like this guy was a cardiologist, so they needed him, so he stayed. He was also gay. I could call him, but I had to be careful about what I said. In other words, I could not talk about what I wanted to talk about on the phone. We would have to develop some sort of code or figure out some way of communicating with each other because the phone might be bugged. So I called him. His name was Yuri. Hello. Yes. Yes, my friend told me about you. Yes. Mr. Fisher. Yes. Thank you for calling. I cannot talk about anything that he alluded to on the phone. No, I cannot talk about any of that. But I wondered if perhaps you could come to Turkmenistan and we could talk here. That is really the only way that I could tell you about my life in this country in person. Otherwise, no, letters won't do. No. It really is the only way. It is, of course, up to you. I think you would find it interesting. Our capital city, Ashgabat, is very beautiful. I can't go to Turkmenistan. I didn't know anybody who'd been to Turkmenistan. Nobody was going there. That's what that article was about. Americans need to go there and exploit the economy. I, and a gay guy in Turkmenistan. I knew nothing about the culture, nothing. But it was my year for an obsession. And I called up a travel agent. This is before the internet. And it turned out I could get a cheap flight. They were encouraging people to come. The rates were reasonable. Now they're incredibly expensive because they don't want foreigners to come. But this was early for them as a country. And I could go there. So I booked a flight to Turkmenistan. It would go through Abu Dhabi, which was created pretty much as a hub for people traveling to the Far East. So I got on a plane and flew to Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi was incredible. What a weird creation that was. I mean, this was a while ago, but it was still as strange as anything. I was there overnight. And then I got on a plane to Ashgabat, the capital of Turkmenistan. I was there. It was so weird. I got off the plane. And the first thing I noticed was the airport. What a weird, wonderful airport it was. It was so logical. The architecture was brand new. It looked like a bird, a huge bird made of marble. From Italy, they had imported all this marble and created this gigantic bird. I thought that is so cute. How perfect for an airport. That's so charming. So I went up to the information lady and I said, I think your airport is so adorable. Listen, how do I get into the city? I'm sorry, do you speak English? Oh, no, your English is great. My God, good for you. I don't speak any Turkmen. How do I get into the city? Is there a bus or a train? Oh, a cab? Okay. Can I trust the cabbie? I mean, no. Where I come from, America, cabbies are, it's all illegal. I mean, they're just, it's like scams. They're always scam. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Nice to talk to you. Hi. Listen, I'm going into the city. How much is it? Manat. What is that in American dollars? How much is that in American dollars? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll do it. Oh, you want American dollars? How many? That's cheaper than the manat. Oh, you want dollars? Okay, sure. Works out great for both of us. Terrific. So I had a date with Yuri, the Russian. It was at the Opera House. So I had the cabbie drive me to the center of Ashgabat because I wanted to see the buildings. Thank you. And I got out and the buildings were adorable. I just walked around, all of them made of that incredible Italian marble. My favorite of all of them was the Ministry of Education. It was designed like an open book. Isn't that clever? So I was walking around loving these buildings. They were so adorable, soaring into the sky, all these beautiful marble buildings made from the richest veined marble from Italy. It was incredible. And the city was so clean. It was like immaculate. There were people sweeping and watering and hosing down the sidewalks. It was amazing, this city. But nobody was on the sidewalks. Nobody. And all the cars were white to match the buildings. It was so bizarre. And then I saw him. There he was. I could tell from a distance. It was Yuri. He was standing in front of the Opera House. The Opera House was great. One of my favorites. It was shaped like a flying saucer. This huge flying saucer. I don't know what the idea was. Like, we'll transport you to the space of music. I don't know, but it was so cute. And there in front of it was Yuri. Welcome to Turkmenistan. The opera house is significant. We didn't have opera before because it was thought to be a Russian thing. But our new president encourages Western music and entertainment. Let me show you around the city. Ashgabat is unique. It was destroyed by an earthquake in 1948. 175,000 people were killed. 90% of the population. The communists were here, the Russians. They would not let the world know what had happened. They told nobody, and they started to rebuild. When our government took over, they built in white marble. How come all of the cars are white? It's so incredible. They like match the building. That is by government dictate. Our president says that white is his favorite color. May I make a recommendation? That shirt you're wearing, I wouldn't recommend wearing it. Do you have something to cover yourself with? Why? What's wrong with it? It is the color scheme is a very how shall I put it? It is very gay. It is too gay. We must be careful. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's not a gay shirt. I mean, it's just a, this is a restaurant in San Francisco. I mean, all they do is, excuse me, all they do is serve like Chinese food. But I mean, I don't think it's gay Chinese food. I think it's just Chinese food. But they might be gay. I just bought it because it was like rainbow. I think it's like accidentally gay. Like things that are accidentally camp. But well, that's actually anyway. Yes. Is this better? It is much better. What did you want to know? Well, I'm just curious. Forgive me for not knowing, but you're gay. What is your life like here? It is illegal here to be gay. Homosexuals are thrown in jail. It is the only nation in Central Asia where this is the case. We live a life that is very much, what is your word, closeted? We live a very closeted life. But why would the government be against gay people? The government is not popular. The economy is not good. The only way it can curry favor with the people is to scapegoat foreigners, immigrants, women, gay people. It's the old fascist story. Well, how do you connect? How do you meet people? I meet people through connections. Once you are known to be gay, it is not easy to meet people, but you do. As a matter of fact, I have a date. Welcome to Ashgabat. I will come to your hotel tomorrow in the morning, and I can tell you more about homosexuality in Turkmenistan. I will bring a friend with me. I think you will find it interesting. His story is very interesting. Good day, Mr. Fisher. Okay, so that was like kind of weird, right? I mean, that was just like sort of a weird encounter, but it's been very mysterious, like some sort of like spy movie or something. I don't know. But anyway, I went to my hotel, which was beautiful, made of marble, of course. And I went up to my room and I had a lovely evening. I thought it was a little weird. There was like nobody there. It was immaculately clean. People like scurrying around cleaning it, but like nobody's staying there. In the morning, I got up and I went down to the lobby to the breakfast room and I was waiting to meet Yuri. And there he was. He was coming towards me across the lobby. I waved to him and he approached me. He was limping. His limp was quite pronounced. Mr. Fisher, how was your evening? But are you all right? I am fine. What happened to you? My date was unsuccessful. This happens. We were beaten up on the street. By who? By drunks. They accused us of being gay. My friend got mouthy and they beat us up. Why didn't you tell the police? Can't you go to the police about this? The police? No. We are illegal. So to beat us up is legal. It happens. Not often, but it happens. There is somebody I want you to meet. His story is much more difficult than mine. You might think that I struggle, but he struggles more. He is Turkmen. His name is Khalil. I'd love to meet him. Where is he? He won't come inside this hotel, but we can meet him on the street. Please come with me. Khalil, this is my friend, Mr. Fisher. Hi, Khalil. Hi. I don't want to be on camera. Please, I'll just stand here. Yuri has told me about you, that you've come from San Francisco. My goodness, that's like Oz for me. He told me you wanted to hear about gay life in Turkmenistan. Well, you see, it's very difficult. Many years ago, I met somebody. I met them through a dating service, actually. They actually connected me with somebody who might be able to help me. And I started up a phone conversation with a friend. He became a very close friend. And we decided that it was time to meet. I think I was in love. So we decided to meet at a cafe. I went to the cafe and he didn't show up. And I called him and he said, I'll be down there in 10 minutes. And 10 minutes later, the police came. My friend, who I was so in love with, was a cop. He had set me up. That was his job. From that moment forward, my life descended into darkness. I was taken to the police station. I was accused of being a homosexual. I said, you don't have any evidence. And then they beat me. The police. I would have to stand trial. You can get up to 2 years for being gay. I was returned to my family to await trial. They were humiliated. They sent me to a mullah to cure me. He wasn't successful. So then I was sent to a psychiatric hospital. The government runs them. They're basically prisons. I was given pills, hormone therapy, they called it. I grew breasts. They were very sensitive. They hurt. I decided I had to do something. I had to stop this. I had to put a stop to this. So I said, I am heterosexual. You've cured me. You've done it. I went home. My uncle arranged a marriage for me. He thought that would fix me for life if I had a wife. She was so young, 16. 2 weeks before the wedding, I couldn't go through with it. I called her on the phone and I tried to explain it to her. She was so young, she didn't understand. I said, I am a homosexual. I cannot have sex with you. You can never have babies. I can't do this to you. I'm sorry, but I have to call off the marriage. She didn't understand me, so I asked to talk to her father. When he heard what I had to say, he started yelling at me. The insults were savage, and then he hung up. He slammed down the phone. I guess he called my uncle because my uncle came to my apartment and beat me. I thought I was going to die. Yuri came to me. We were friends. He helped me recover. And as soon as I recovered, I fled. I went to Belarus, where I had studied radiology. That's how I know Yuri, from the hospital. And Belarus is a fascist country. It has a dictator, but it is legal there to be gay. So for me, it was heaven. But my uncle found out, and he had friends in Belarus, and they came for me. I was told by other friends that they were coming for me. So I left on the first plane I could get on, which was to Turkey, which was a mistake because they hate us in Turkey, and the Turkmen embassy. They sent people to grab me in the night. And they brought me back to Turkmenistan. My family arranged for me to lose my job. I lost my apartment. Uncle beat me up again. And now I live with my parents. They only let me outside once a day to go for a walk. That's the only reason I could come here. And I swear the next thing that's going to happen to me is I will be disappeared. That's what happens to people like me in Turkmenistan. We're disappeared. Okay. So, okay. Some problems. There's some problems. Okay. So, first of all, this isn't my story. This is somebody else's story. I mean, Khalil is a real person. I read about him online, and these things did happen to him, but it's not my story. So how am I telling it? Where am I really in this story? I mean, obviously I'm John. I'm the guy who goes to Turkmenistan. So, you know, I can play a gay guy going to Turkmenistan. And I share certain, you know, heritage characteristics with Yuri, right? As Europeans, right? And gay guys, yes, but I share nothing with Khalil. He's a Turkmen. So how am I able to tell his story? There's an expression, nothing about us without us. Well, he is not here. So how am I able to tell his story? What is the justice in that? Or, okay, here's another way of thinking about it. I have a friend who's a producer of queer theater right here in New York City. And every summer, he puts on a festival called the Criminal Queers Festival. And it's just about queers in countries where it is criminal to be gay, right? So they get plays from those countries where it's criminal to be gay and put them on here in New York City. But it's very hard to get those plays because those people don't want to share anything. Because, of course, they'll be persecuted in their own country. He has told me, I think he said that some of the plays are by X or by Anonymous. And sometimes they don't get any play. The person will not send it out because word will get back and they will be arrested. So how can these stories be told? So that's the problem. The problem of telling this piece, the fanciful aspects and the ownership aspects. So I reached out to Yuri after we talked to Khalil and I said, I have to meet you, we have to talk. And so he agreed to meet me again in front of the Opera House amidst all of the beautiful white marble buildings. And now I was shaking. I didn't know what was safe in this country. And I went out and I met him. I said, is this okay for us to be out walking? Yes, it's okay. We can walk. Men in this country socialize with each other. It is fine. It is, in fact, more okay to be out in public with another man than with a woman. Okay, but we should be a little more, what is the expression, masculine. We should shove each other once in a while, like this. Okay, yeah, but laugh when I do it, playfully, okay? Oh, I get it, yeah, like, yeah, yes, that's good. That is much more to butch. You have to get out of this country. It's dangerous for you here. You can't stay here. How would I do that? I can help you. I'm an American. I have money. I have ideas. I can help you get out of this country. I would never leave this country without my friend, without Khalil. Okay, I can help get him out too. There must be some way. We can figure it out. He would never leave. He's too afraid. Yes, but with us, with the two of us, with you especially, we could convince him. We'll figure out a plan and we'll do it. I told Khalil to meet us. He will meet us at the Palace of Happiness. And there, looming in front of us, was the Palace of Happiness. This amazing, huge marble structure with this big circular thing on top. That was the largest indoor Ferris wheel in the world, according to the Guinness Book of World Records. I didn't even know there were such thing as indoor Ferris wheels. So we saw Khalil in front of it. Hi. Mr. Fisher wants to talk to us about something. Let us go on the Ferris wheel. We will sit together. It will be safe there. So we got into the Ferris wheel. We sat three across. Khalil was on the side, so he wouldn't be in the shot. Yuri was in the middle. Mr. Fisher thinks he has an idea about getting us out of Turkmenistan. Please, just listen. I think we can just, I have enough money to bribe a cabbie. And I think a cabbie will take us to the border and we can cross. You cannot cross at the border. Our borders are closed. We are not allowed to leave this country. That is why they were able to bring Khalil back from Turkey. We have no right to leave. Well, we can cross in secret. No, we would be shot. They are waiting for that. They are ready for that. Well, we can go to the sea, to the Caspian Sea. We can bribe fishermen to help us cross the sea and get to a country where it is legal. Where would we go? Kazakhstan. It is legal in Kazakhstan. You cannot go to Kazakhstan. It might be legal there, but socially we are hated. We would be very little better off there, and they would just send us back. I don't know. We cannot go to Iran. We're illegal in Iran. We cannot go to Azerbaijan. We're illegal in Azerbaijan. They kill us there on site. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Russia. Yes, we could get to Russia. Yes, we would go to Russia. We can't go to Russia. All we hear about in the United States is how awful Russia is towards its queers. It's illegal. It is not illegal. The law in Russia is very specific. You cannot propagandize. You cannot be a promoter of homosexuality, but homosexuality is legal. Also, I have friends there, family members even. I don't speak to them, but I think they would help us if we were in need. Yes. Okay, so we will get a cabbie. We'll bribe a cabbie. We'll give him a bunch of money. No, not all at once. We will give him half the money and the other half when he gets us to the Caspian. Yes, okay. And then we will bribe a boatman. Same deal. Half before and half when he gets us to Russia. Yes. We can do it. We can do it. Khalil, listen to me. We must do this. We must get away. Khalil, you must listen to me. Listen to me. No, I can't leave my family. I can't. Your family wants you dead. You know this. Soon you will be disappeared. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. I will help him. He'll be fine. We must leave tonight. Yes. In the middle of the night, at midnight. No. There's a curfew. The city has a curfew at 11 o'clock. To be out after that is suspicious. We must leave at 4:30 in daylight. We'll get the cab. You meet us back here at the Palace of Happiness. We will see you then. So I went back to the hotel and I packed my stuff and I decided the hell with it. If I was going to do this big gay espionage thing, I was going to wear my gay shirt, even if it wasn't a gay shirt. I was going to do this dressed properly. So I got my backpack and I headed out into the late afternoon, and I couldn't help it. I know I was not supposed to be conspicuous. I know I wasn't supposed to draw attention to myself, but I was headed out into this weird city, and I felt suddenly like I was in like some kind of James Bond movie. I don't know. And so I was moving amongst those huge white structures. And I imagine music for myself. Mission Impossible. Bum 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 da 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 and then I thought somebody was following me. So I started running. Oh my God. I'm being pursued. Everybody's staring at me. I've been chased through Ashgabat. My God. I'm probably the first gay man ever to be chased through Ashgabat. What's that? Somebody's waving at me. Oh, it's Yuri. Hey, Yuri. Hey. Oh, Oh, he wants me to stop running. Okay, okay. Hey, how are you? What are you doing? Are you crazy? Everybody's staring at you. Stand with Khalil. I'm going to go talk to one of the cabbies. Stand over there with Khalil. Hey, how you doing? It's going to be fine. Really is. What'd you find out? I talked to him. I convinced him. We will give him half the money now and half the money when he gets us to the Caspian. It's all set. Okay, can we trust this guy? Yes, we can trust him. How do you know? I know. How do you know you can trust him? I told him about my gun. Your gun? You don't have a gun. I know, but I told him I did. He's trustworthy now. Don't worry. Come on, everybody get in. Khalil, sit up front where the camera won't see you. And we started to move outside of Ashgabat. And I looked forward to the cabbie's dashboard, and he had this little compass on it, and the compass showed that we were going east. We weren't going west to the Caspian, we were going east. I said, what are we doing? We're not going to the Caspian, we're going east, we're going the wrong direction. It is okay. There are some sights that you should see before you leave Turkmenistan. You haven't seen enough, you've only seen the city. I think you will enjoy the sights. I don't want to be a tourist now, I want to get out of this country. Don't worry, relax. Americans are always in such a hurry. You should slow down and relax. Listen to me. We have to get out of this country. It will make us less conspicuous if we go to the east. Take a nap. It will be 2 hours before we get there. What? Take a nap. He woke me up. This is it. The city of Merv. Look at it. Magnificent. One of the antiquities of the ancient Silk Road. It was built in 323 BC by Alexander the Great on his way to India. It was originally called Alexandria. There were many Alexandrias, not just the one in Egypt, and this was one of them. This is what the president is trying to recreate in Ashgabat with that ugly white marble. What he doesn't realize is that what makes this so magical is that it is made of the sandstone of the desert. It is organic, but majestic. That's great. Can we turn around and get to the ocean now? Go back to sleep. We have one more stop. How far away is that? It is 2 hours. Go to sleep. What are you? Go to sleep. What? We're approaching it. Here it comes. The gates of hell. This huge pit is 1/4 of a mile across. It's been burning since 1971. The Russians were drilling for oil, trying to find it here, and the drill collapsed into the ground. A huge pit was left, which was releasing huge amounts of natural gas. The Russians set it on fire to burn it off. It never burned off. It has been burning constantly for 50 years. That is how they know that we have such large natural gas resources. The first clue. The gates of hell. Incredible. Are we going to the Caspian Sea now? Yes, we'll be there in 3 hours. Go to sleep. Is this it? Yes, get out. Take Khalil to the boat. I will talk to the boatman. Don't talk to anybody, and don't let Khalil say anything to anybody. Just stand there and don't speak. As I stood there, I thought about Ashgabat drifting back into my memory. I knew I'd never see it again. What a bizarre place. I wondered if it would last as long as Merv had. That if this would be here in 2,000 years. We stood by the edge of the boat. Yuri came back to us. I talked to the boatman. He has agreed. I also settled things with the cabbie. I saved you some money. How'd you do that? I showed him my gun. I thought you said you didn't have a gun. No, I do. It doesn't work. But he was intimidated. We saved some money. Go ahead, get on the boat. Go below and keep Khalil quiet. Come on, Khalil. We start moving. Go to sleep, Khalil. You rest. You will wake us when we're in Russia. What happened? We've stopped. It's another boat. We've bumped up alongside another boat. I hear voices. Are those Russian voices? No. No, those are Turkmen voices. We've run into a Turkmen patrol boat. Oh my God. Shh, be quiet, be quiet. Stay down here. Don't come up. Oh. Yuri, what's happening? Turkmen patrol. They're talking to the captain. He's telling them that we're fishermen. I don't think they believe him. What are we going to do? I don't know. What about your gun? It doesn't work. It's just a toy. They don't believe him. They're going to take us back. What are we going to do? I don't know. I don't have any ideas. Excuse me. I'm an American. Yes, I'm an American. Yeah. And if you take me into captivity, you'll have to deal with my embassy. Uh-huh. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound good. I have money. I have American cash. Here we go. I will give this to you. I will give you all this money. You take it, you back your boat away, and you let us proceed. Okay? Yes, money, cash. Yes, for you. Take it. What are you doing? Take it. Go ahead, take it, take it. They've taken it. They're counting it. Oh, what are they saying? It won't work. They're going to keep it. They're going to take us back. How can they keep it? I just paid them that they're going to take us back. But I'll tell their boss. I'll tell whoever the commanding officer is that they took money from me. He won't care. They'll probably divide it with him, or they'll lie and say that you didn't give them anything. What are we going to do? I don't know. I don't have a plan. Excuse me. This ship is a bomb. This whole vessel is a bomb. It's one big bomb. What are you doing? This is a detonator. If you don't leave us alone, I will press this button and blow up this ship and you with it. Yeah, no, I will. I will. Don't laugh. Oh, okay. You want me to press it? You want me to press it? Put that down. You want me to press it? That is a credit card. I can't see that. That's right. Get back on your boat. That's right. That's right. And go away. And if you shoot at us, I will turn this boat at yours and ram you and blow you up. Do you understand me? Yeah, you understand, don't you? Yeah, yeah. Wait, you. Yeah. Give me my money back. Yeah, yeah. Give it to me. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You should have just kept it and let us go. Yeah, get out of here. Go away. Captain, turn the boat around. All right, Captain. If they shoot at us, ram them. American Express. Don't leave home without it. We did it. We did it. Yes, we did it. Okay, Captain, take us to Russia. Proceed. Talk to him. I don't think he understands me. I'm going below deck. Let us know when we're in Russia. Khalil, I think we're here. Khalil, what is it? What? Have we arrived? I think so. Stay down here. I'll tell you to come up. Where are we? We are in Russia. Bring Khalil up. What? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. You know what? I'm not going to pay you the other half. Yeah, because I think you signaled that patrol boat. Yeah, I think you were in it with them. No, that was a little suspicious. How did they find us in the middle of the Caspian Sea? I think you raided them. No, you don't get the other half of your money. No, I'm sorry, you don't. No, sorry, bye bye. But no, go back to Turkmenistan. Yeah, you're in Russia now, and I get to tell you what to do. Go back to Turkmenistan. Yeah, go back there. Yeah, go back. No, go back, or I'll tell them that you're gay. Yeah, okay, yeah, bye, bye, criminal captain. Bye bye. What? We will go to Volgograd. I have relatives there. They can get us to Moscow. Things are better in Moscow. Oh, Volgograd, that's Stalingrad. Oh my God, I love that. A World War II battlefield. That's great. What a, oh my God, yay, we're going to Stalingrad, yay. I don't have quite enough money. Do you have any left? As a matter of fact, I do. I worked out a deal with the captain. We have plenty of money to get to Volgograd. Yuri, we did it. Khalil, come up. We're in Russia. Okay, so reality check. Um, so, uh, Khalil. Khalil's story is completely true. Everything about it is true. I read about it in preparing for this piece, except getting out of Turkmenistan. Nobody came to save him. He's still there. He still thinks that he's going to be disappeared. It could happen at any moment. Yuri's story, that is a collection of people. There are many Russians who still live in Turkmenistan. One of them I read about was gay. So Yuri is sort of a amalgamation, or what's the word, a collation of people, right? He's a put together character, but he too is still in Turkmenistan. Me, I never went. I never rescued these guys. That never happened. That was pure fancy. And I think that that might be the luxury and the danger of America, that we can tell these stories, but we don't own these stories. In other words, Khalil is the guy, he's a cardiologist, and he is out of work in Turkmenistan. Why don't we rescue him? We talk about the people we want to come to this country. What could we want more than somebody with his skills? In other words, everybody should be allowed to come to this country, but they shouldn't just have to come. We should be seeking them out. Okay, during the Cold War, West Germany used to buy people out of East Germany. They buy them out. They pay for them to leave East Germany. So why don't we buy people out of places like Turkmenistan? People like Khalil. Why do we wait for them to seek asylum? We could use them. We could help them. We could save them. The Turkmens would certainly take the money. That seems like something our government could achieve. And then maybe they could come here themselves and tell their stories. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been Turkmenistan. Yay! And thank you, at-home audience. I'll be back next week at my usual hour here at the center at 8 o'clock on Saturday night. This is a special matinee performance, my first ever. So join me either in person or online. You are a terrific audience. Yay, audience! Yay! And if you were here, you could have Reese's. We have Reese's up on the windowsill. But if you join me online, thank you so much. And thank you for the noises. And thank you for turning out for my first matinee ever. I mean, of the ESP project. ESP in the afternoon. Yay! Ah! So now I have to stop this and make sure it all happened.